All right, today is Monday, February 23rd. It is currently 10:30 a.m. PST. Just going to go over this morning's trade. I did not take it. It was the correct PO3 and everything we had anticipated last night. However, with the Asia longs that I took last night, and I wasn't really able to get good sleep. I didn't really want to get on 2 hours of sleep, but that's okay. Let's just take a look at what happened. It was really clean. I'll just back up right now is price action, right? So this is what we were looking at last night. The levels that I had identified on the daily. We had the CSD as I had discussed, but anticipation of just digging lower here into this order block to be followed by the other two assets. So anyways, that's what we were looking at last night. Drop down to the 4 hour. Right, and we can see here, let's go back one since it's already done that, right? This is just framework, GXT, truth, it's all the same, right? We're going to discuss candle closures, right? That's all we're going to do. So, right, 2610 model, or even just 2610 framework, right? 2 a.m., right? Asia, 6 a.m. What does 6 a.m. do, right? We're just looking at candle structure here, right? 6 a.m. opens what? Correct PO3, right? It's an open high, right? Manipulating previous 4-hour range candle high, and furthermore, creating SMT, right? Up here. Now, not at previous day high just yet, but at the high above, right before, right? So 6 a.m. closes back inside 2 a.m.'s range. Okay, so what does that tell us, right? We just keep it simple. If 6 closes inside 2 with the correct PO3, we know 10 needs to rebalance, and then we'll continue to distribute, right? So that's what we were looking at. That's what I was looking at last night. You can even see here, and I had discussed this prior, right? We did have this range until yesterday. We manipulated and rebalanced this low, which allowed us to expand to take this high, right? And now we had this daily open low, and these were the longs. Let's see if I can grab them. These were the longs I took last night on all the assets right here. I was watching some show with my buddy, so it wasn't like so. Anyways, we had SMT down here with Asia low, and I had noticed. You can see here. Oh, where is it? This key level had already been taken by NQ yesterday, and that key level, where is it? Is down here on ES, and it was down here. I'll show you on YM right here. Okay, so this manipulated low. It was not taken by the other two assets, which in this case, because NQ and YM are leading and lagging, right? Leading asset takes. This is not. What does that mean? That means that this is now the draw for later, right? So anyways, longs. Initially I was holding the daily open, and I because I was wanting to go to sleep, I just closed. But you can see all I did was measure rebalance point of the 4-hour candle here with this open low, mark out a point of interest at EQ here. I went down to the 5, right? And we can see here that, let me go here. It's actually better on the 15. Yeah, so last night, enter, right? I wanted to run out these equal highs to EQ. I had measured out all of the bearish OBs at EQ. All this LR here. I wanted to see how price responded at EQ of Asia range. Were we just pulling back to Asia range to then flush? I was watching that. Then we consolidated on top of EQ, and then yeah, like I said, I was in one. I wasn't really in micro, so I couldn't scale, but I closed on all because I went to bed. But this is the same thing that happens every day, so I want to talk about it. Notice how we end up taking Asia high. All right, the same thing when we come into 9:30. If this is previous day high, this is why it's important to always be like watching and taking correct models regardless of time for practice, right? Because the same thing, right? We consolidate. Okay, what does GXT tell us, right? In order for assets to reverse both assets or all assets must put in a reversal signature, right? This is not a reversal signature, right? We are consolidating after taking a high, right? What does that mean? That leads to what? Continuation, right? So we really have this phase one of price distribution with consolidation before phase two, I guess, if you could look at it like that, right? Some ICT stuff, whatever. But regardless, it doesn't really matter. All that matters is, right, we get the model printing, we take it to the draw, right? The reality is, yes, we are EQ. And furthermore, right, daily open, which is what I was targeting. And now this is something, the reason I took this trade while I wasn't really like when I was watching the show is because it reminded me of like a couple weeks ago when I saw this post from Johnny, and he, and maybe it was a while ago, but basically he was just saying easiest trade. He took a night trade, and the only reason he took it was because Asia had opened so far away from the digital. And in his example, he took shorts because Asia was up here, and the gap was so big that it gets closed, right? And so he took Asia shorts back to daily open. So, anyways, last night when I saw price here, or even low, right? And we had this huge bull. And furthermore, you want to talk about V-shaped recovery. YM was, look at this. This was like, so anyways, I saw this, right? I'm like, okay, well, we obviously need to at least put something here. Go back to here. Sorry. Okay, V-shaped recovery. So anyway, so that's what I was waiting for, and I want to see. So this was easy. Back to EQ at least. So anyways, I took longs here on all of these assets. Let's go back to the hourly now, so we can get back to today's trade. Blow through this real quick. Oh, I'm too far. I'm not. Yeah, whoops. Okay. So anyway, so back to market open. Oops, wrong one. Here we go. So 30. But I'm a little high. It's okay. Like too far ahead. Right. So look, let's just back this up to here. There we go. Right. So prior to market open, right, we were basically consolidating Asia high, right, except for YM, right, right. YM has rebalanced to EQ, right, prior to market open, right. So what does that tell us, right? This, right, has been rebalanced for expansion, right? Expansion leading into market open. Expansion to where? Well, here's previous day high, but daily open, right? We want to see, are we going to get SMT, right? Do we get SMT manipulation to run out these lows down here, right? That was going into this morning. I was either looking for an open high to flush, right? Or something else. But you can see with the daily open being an open low first, likely to get some sort of expansion for manipulation to then go short first based on this structure. So anyways, so we run it through, right? Here's 930. 930 consolidates right at the open, right? But look at YM. Okay. YM runs up, right below previous day high, right? Same thing, 30. Let's see, go to 15-minute. And this is where we got the SMT here with, where is it? It's on the 5. Yeah, so we have this SMT, we have double SMT right here, this and this, right? Double SMT plus here with YM. So this got taken, right? and then this, right, on NQ. You can see here, NQ, SMT here with ESYM, right? Again, another SMT did not get this. So YM clears out, NQ rejects off daily open at 9:30, right? 9:30 open high, correct PO3, right? Now, this is right. This closure below 9:30's opening price, right, ends here. Okay, so taking 30, unless you're going to take this rejection based off of this 9:30 move, right? Knowing the SMT, for me, I'm waiting 45, and I also want to see what the higher time frame, higher time frame looks like to see if to make sure we establish some sort of CSD. So you can see at this point, right, 30, we have a 15-minute CSD lower, right? YM's wick getting pushed, same thing here, right? So now we watch for 45, and then we look for 10, right? Because we really already know, right? 6 a.m. closes, right? Back inside 2 a.m.'s range. So 10 o'clock needs to rebalance. We know that. And this is where we get the CSD here. If I can get back to it. Sorry. Okay, so now we're going to look for 45. Okay, so 30, 45, right? What's 45? 45 rebalances back to 30. And here's 10 o'clock. So there's 10 o'clock's open high. CSD here. Whoops. Well, that's what happens when you change time frames. Let's just back that up so we can all get a good understanding of how the trade, right? Because look, we wait. We wait for 10. Why do we wait for 10? The reason we wait for 10 is because, right? On this one here, sorry. Here we go. Right? 6 a.m. gave us a CSD for lower on YM on the 4-hour. Right? 6 a.m. manipulated 2 a.m. closed back inside the range on ES and on NQ, right? So because 6 closed back inside 2, we know 10 needs to rebalance 6 a.m.'s range, and then it can distribute lower, right? And so by waiting for this candle to finish printing, it allows us to know that this is manipulation, right, with the correct PO3 at the high, right? So we are in line with the draw lower, right? So we need to wait for this candle in order to take 10 a.m., right? So that's what we wait for. Let me go back here to 10 a.m. We wait for it to sweep the high. And because 6 closed back inside, 10's going to distribute, right? Where to that key level that I had anticipated the night before and yesterday, the one that was manipulated, that will now act as the draw to continue to pull the markets lower. Speed this up, sorry. There you go. Those were today's longs. Clean. Correct PO3. Wait for the right reversal put in prior to market open. If not, then what? Driver reversal or continuation, right? 45. 6 a.m. candle gave us the closure back inside. 10 a.m. just has to continue to the lower, right? Because of the SMT up here, right? We left previous day high, right? For later, right? Consolidation. Maybe we pull this back in, right? To then run back up, manipulate lower, sweep all this LR out. But we'll see. But anyways, so that was today. I hope everyone had a good day, and we'll catch you later.